Hello, welcome to Core Finance. I'm Matt Brown. I'm joined by David Paul, MD of VectorVest. Pleasure to have you back on the show, David.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Good morning.
Good stuff. So let's kick off with VectorVest, and we've talked about it previously. We buying or selling at the moment? Well, what should investors be doing?
Well, before you can define the trend, you have to define the time frame. And on VectorVest, we have 5 measures of the trend, believe it or not. But today I'm going to talk about the shortest term measure and our longest term measure. Now, the longest term measure is in fact on the chart in those green and red triangles. And the long-term trend turned down towards the end of last week. However, the short-term trend is up. So as we go into the trading day today, the short-term trend is up. That would mean that the most aggressive traders should start to put their toes into the water. More conservative traders should sit and wait for the longer-term trend to turn up. As you can see, it's been a little bit mixed during the course of the summer, which is not unusual. We moved into a very strong trend that started last December, which ran right through to the 4th of July, in fact, and then a little bit mixed during the course of the summer. So aggressive traders, by all means, can start to build positions today or add to positions.
And short term, what time frame are you putting on short term?
Well, those people that like to get into the markets close to the lows and would be in the market, let's say, for trades 3 to 21 day swing trades, that order. And there's quite a few candidates.
Good stuff. So that leads us on to a few candidates to look at. Starting off with Taptica. What do you think of this?
I love this little company, and I've spoken about it here a couple of weeks ago. Hasn't done much since then, but that's my normal format, Matt, in that the candle chart, the price chart, above the price chart, we've got that thick green line, which is the VectorVest valuation. I like to see a nice big buffer there. Many people say that I'm too conservative, but somebody once told me that there are old traders and there are bold traders, but there are no old bold traders. So
and that's a big buffer. I mean, that's £3 on a £4 stock.
It's a lovely big buffer, yes. Earnings per share growing at the bottom, and it's pulled back into that £4 range. In the next slide, I've blown up the market action a little bit, and as you can see, it's pulled back and what technicians would refer to as a flag, and it's pulled back. Within the flag there are 5 waves, if you can see them, to me it seems to be breaking up. The Stochastic, which is a momentum indicator designed by a fellow called George Lane, and it's showing a divergence that's known by technicians as reverse divergence or hidden divergence, where the price is making a rising bottom, but the indicator is making a falling bottom, and that's normally a very good precursor of a move. It's still on a hold recommendation on VectorVest, and if that hold should turn to buy over the next day or two, then I think that Taptica has got a strong move ahead of it. And it looks good to me.
Moving on to Games Workshop, and again, you've got the buffer on the valuation.
Earnings per share growing strongly, and it pulled back to a previous resistance, always a good sign, and it found strong support in a weak market at that resistance, and it's moved up on the next slide. That's a close-up. Again, we've got this, as you can see, the pullback into that ledge. We had a couple of inside days, which is always a good sign, and it's moved up the page. We're also charting a couple of inside days at the moment. So again, we've got the stochastic reverse divergence. Some technicians, in fact, call it a slingshot for its ability to predict a move out, a fast move. So I think that as the general market starts to right itself, as that short-term trend strengthens over the next couple of days, fingers crossed, that Games Workshop is going to move up strongly. I've been doing VectorVest user groups around the country, and I've been speaking to everybody about Games Workshop. So the people who've come to those have been listening to me rattle on about Games Workshop now for a week.
With Christmas around the corner as well, maybe one to wish for in your stocking, and hopefully some bumper results over Christmas. Moving on, looking at Volex.
Well, Volex, yes, a small, relatively small electrical equipment manufacturer. VectorVest, in fact, revalued it based on the earnings coming in about, what, 3-4 months ago. And you can see how the price was above the valuation, and then as the numbers came in, we revalued the thing. So it's significantly undervalued now, and moving up, trending up the page. It was up yesterday again since I, in fact, did that, and it charted a really nice candle yesterday, an outside bar, where it went down, took out all the obvious stops, and then reversed again, which is always a good sign.
Yep, definitely.
The last pullback didn't quite get back to the last series of highs, and Charles Dow said in 1880 that that was the definition of a strong trend. The market should pull back and kiss the old highs. If they don't pull back and get to the old highs, Dow said that that was the definition of a strong trend. That was his measurement of momentum in a day before, in days before computers and stochastics. So that,
and we're still using it today.
Yes,
so it's very true.
Yeah.
Looking at the next stock, Prudential. So just talk us through this. And,
Prudential again, well, got my buffer. I've got earnings per share growing. I put in a trend line, which there is a trend at work. It's on a buy recommendation on VectorVest. I did this before the close yesterday, and it broke up strongly yesterday. And those of the chartists watching should be able to see an ascending triangle there, and those with more vivid imagination should be able to see a cup and handle formation there. It's doing all the right things, and I think that the Prudential's about to break. I don't think you should expect it to run away. I think it's going to be a slow and fairly boring move up the page, but I think there's very limited risk to your capital in that particular share at the moment.
And one to tuck away, the earnings per share as well growing there, which is always good to see.
It's in solid shape. It's in solid shape.
Good to hear. Looking at Victoria as well, it's trading above the valuation line. So just explain to our viewers what you do in cases like this.
Well, first of all, invariably the price and the valuation come together, and that's what's happened in Victoria. I've been talking about it on here all year, and I'm now 3 times bigger in it than I was when I started. When I'm right, I like to build a position. And I bought in the last time as it broke up through those highs. At the moment, it's trading significantly above the VectorVest valuation. I'm holding the share, but I'm not buying any more of it at the moment, because I favour shares that are trading below the VectorVest valuation. Also, technically, it's come a long way. And normally when you see a very, very strong move up and you see a gap at the end of that, that's what technicians would refer to as an exhaustion gap. That is the people who've watched it go up the page for years, finally taken a deep breath and jumped in and bought it emotionally. So I'm always a gap out of support is a very strong signal, but a gap right at the end of a big move is invariably the Johnny-come-latelys coming in.
Yes,
okay,
late to the party.
Yeah, but it just shows that trading in undervalued shares with very little effort and very little comprehension of advanced technical analysis, you can do exceptionally well. Okay.
Understood. So this one, dance on the dance floor, but maybe near the door.
Quite so well put, sir. Well put, sir.
So just to explain to our viewers how they can get in contact, find out more about VectorVest.
Well, first of all, VectorVest.co.uk. We're the only software vendor stroke education provider in the UK that's authorised by the FCA. We have user groups around the country. I do webcasts online for those people who can't make those. They're all recorded. But if you go to VectorVest.co.uk, if you like what you see, you can take a 5-week trial of VectorVest. It's £5.95 for a 5-week trial. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not for you, we shall remain friends.
Well, hopefully there's some great value there to be had as well. But in the meantime, David Paul, MD of VectorVest, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Matt. It's been great. Thank you.